Very intriguing, isn't it? I have not been. Very. You hacked my bloody phone, you perp. I'm not. I don't live in Derby. I don't live in Derby. Yeah, keep hacking my phone. Yeah, keep hacking my phone. Yeah, keep hacking my phone. Anunnaki is the subject. Time travel, Mynabs, military, black Ops operations. How the hell do you get into my own? How the hell do you get anywhere near my bloody brain? I've got recording evidence, and Wi-Fi's only turned on for this. Short stream. Don't get to waste no more time, demons. Right, educateyourself.org, because there is a targeted individuals unite YouTube channel. How the hell is he getting Roy all the way in South UK, all those views, when he claims to be a target individual and there's no evidence? Okay. He doesn't have any break-ins. He doesn't have any what I'm going through. He doesn't even understand what the fact is of what the military black operations means. He doesn't understand the fact. Oh gosh, I mean, he had a good heart to start with, but he trolls the bloody Twitter's accounts implied of individuals being tortured like him, and he convinces them to go on video on his channel. Right, this is what goes on. It's worldwide, targeted just as you can go and research technology. Elements of these problems that don't appear to be normal in the general public and related to the symptoms, right? Cyberbullying, which is hacking on the internet, of course, and all your devices. I don't get the P2K voice to skull. They're direct energy weapons, which is DEW. I do. I am not a human experiment. The organised gang stalking is criminality. This is demonic. It's linked to Freemasons, and it's linked up to the higher chain within their ranking of the lodges. Now, the remote neuromonitoring does hack into your dreams, your brain. Your thoughts are not your own. So that's called the term RNM. I can't even look at it. Yeah, RNM. Street theatre is obvious. It's psychological tactics. Slander is nothing new. That began since I moved in there. Boss Stuart is right opposite me. He knows who he is. It was before I moved in, actually. I take no notice because they're lost souls. Character assassination always has, and it still goes on. Behaviour manipulation and the dream, definitely. This is all for the future of transhumanism, by the way. It's a bit like those movies. Spy software, yep. The gang is gaslighting, but it's more to do, it's conjunction, it's not separate. The gang stalking and the gaslighting, it's combined. Havana syndrome, one can research that mainstream media now. More and more blessings to all those are going through. Now, he pays for Ponton Mail. It doesn't matter what internet connection you have. They find a back door. They've got technology to do that. Right. He used to do, bless his heart, and he means well, Zoom meetings. But what I found out, he means well. He used to work on ships, cruise ships. So I'm not going to spend hours resetting passwords and all this stuff. Egan. Nope. You got me set up, get robbed a year ago, and over a year now, and you made sure that everything in this flat. Oh, I tell you what, I picked up this morning on audio was so obvious, and now I'm just eating a banana. Come join me while I eat banana. Yeah, flip the camera around, and I don't give a shit. The Lord will provide. They make sure I don't see my two. There's my older granddaughter, older grandson. I've never had a relationship with because they made sure that I was all this before I knew what I knew, what I know now, sort of thing. And all the other two grandchildren, and they made sure that the military operation, that whatever they made up, even more, to target my adult son. He's extremely intelligent. But you see, this goes back to when they were kids and I was a young woman. It's hereditary, this program. And wow, can I just say, it is amazing. It's very, very enlightening. The Anunnaki time travel my labs. Wow. Wow. Now let's see if my I'm doing this thing. They don't give a shit anymore, but nothing to do. Let's see how this is coming across. They're hacking into my phone again. They're hacking into my phone again. No, not yet. They're hacking into my phone again. No, not yet. They're hacking into my phone again. No, not yet. But I can hear hacking and I can hear the frequencies doing it. Just switch from time difference and all that. My voice, my chest, my lungs, time difference. My voice. Now, I'm just going to go around and live in a different platform. Right. I'm just checking the chat. Yeah, I got that. No, thanks. Oh, I read about time of it this morning. So, yeah, I can't type on the phone because my phone is hacked. No, this phone is hacked. So let me just see if I can type it in here. Hello, I'm on TikTok as well streaming. So let me just go into the chat now. The email, was it? Yeah. Right. So let me go into this channel because they've hacked my phone and all of my accounts are being blocked. And I have to reset it up later because I'm really getting the attacks in my head, you know, the brain interface. Okay, so UK's 4:30. Okay, so UK's 4:30. Let me, I can hear the frequencies. Right, okay, so let me show. Hello, but in TikTok, I'm just showing the evidence of what they do with hacking on phones and hacking of the brain interface technology. Wednesday, 1st Feb 2023, UK. So just documenting this. Right, this is down the life for me. Hello, by the way. And, right. Let me just bear with me because I'm responding to the moderator on my YouTube channel. Right, this is where to find me. If you want some evidence, go and check out my YouTube channel. Right. Bear with me. I can't make this up. Right, okay. Bear with me. Right, go into YouTube and you will see that channel name. You will see the lives and the evidence and uploads. You will see playlists. Okay. NASA controls AI. Okay. You'll see a lot of, gotta be careful what you share, of course. Some of these playlists are public. Yeah, you will find a lot of information. Right, so going to my channel. This may help people other than who's not aware. This is what you need to look for. Okay, right. So you can see I'm live there right now. Over there. You see my shorts. You see my evidence of that video I shared before. You'll see about the Monarch project. Black Talk Big T-shirt Billy. Can't stop the noise. Right, and you see that website. Okay, that one there is .net, and it's all the evidence. Okay. Right, that's just one of many. I'm really going to town today. So you will see about the falling dark ones, the demonic side, the brain interface AI, how they use it. I mean, I have to stream my evidence of what is going on. You will see about NASA, the agendas of that. Okay. Various evidence how to keep food cold. We haven't got a fridge. Mine's broken. I can't afford to replace it because the motors have gone on it. And then how they've been setting me up to make sure my wheelchair is damaged and setting me up on that. Yeah, can't make it up, I tell you. So, right, there's 2 backup channels. I'm going into the other one. So, you'll find the evidence if you want to look around. Peace, Love and Truths. I have to always get blocked, in different platforms because they don't want the truth getting out. Blocked. They're always monitoring what I do. Hello, Matt. They're hacking me so bad. If you don't believe in Hebrew, these are the pictures I've taken, the short videos. Go and watch the sunrise or sunsets. If you don't believe the gang stalking, watch out for the white cars, the white vans. That is all symbolising my labs, military black ops, operations, underground dumps. You can see why I've been. I do try to document what goes on and the attacking the brain. They're doing it to everybody on this bloody earth. Why? Because of the transhumanism AI. This is demonic times we're living in. When did you ever see a pink? This is all started off as Skywatcher. Okay. All the historic events of Freemasonry in a book of 2003. And when they get up to the high level degree, if you're a member of Freemason Lodge, you don't know who you're worshipping. You're worshipping the demonic side of life. I used to be married to one many moons ago, so I know a lot about it. Okay, so you'll see about the DUMS, the military underground DUMS. Okay, 1996, this guy was exposing it. He used to work on the underground, and he exposes about the Nephians, the reptilians, the shapeshifters. They live among us on the earth, on the surface of the earth. They're here now. Okay, I tell you, I can't tell you how it feels, but I tell you, this is Super Soldier Talk. .net and my last Black Operations. You can check the name out. She exposes a lot too. Okay, this is the brain interface technology, how they do it, and how they do it to me, and they do it to every one of us. And this is how the banking industry works. This is what I began learning law. Thank you for the likes. This is evidence because I don't make nothing up, because I go through the torture. Banking industry, I've learned a long time ago how it works. They are fooling every one of us. The mind control program is what they're after. Every one of us look, Starlink, all this business about upload the brain to a supercomputer. It's nothing but not science fiction. It's real. You really want your brain uploaded without your consent and hacked into without consent. Well, target individuals are test subjects for all this technology, for the bigger picture for the world, for every one of us on this planet to be used. And the future for AI, transhumanism, all those movies, sci-fi movies. Yeah, well, I'll just say from a lot of these videos. Right, if you want to see how they do the shape shifting, you'll see this playlist, okay? And you will go and check these channels out yourself if you don't know anything about it, and how they do it, and how they cover it up and use technology to do it. If you want to learn about what the hell super soldier talks, super soldiers are, they have their DNA manipulated, underground dumps, and to use off-planet things. You want to go and just have a look? Can explain it a bit more than I. I evidence the attacks that I get every bloody night. And Nephian mind control, sleep attacks. It's demonic, it's sick. It's so sick, I can't tell you how bad it is. But anyway, that is Peace and Truths. I have a couple of backup channels because they keep deleting my channels because I just document the evidence. Go and check out this guy who puts himself on camera. I don't. It's the reason I don't. Um, you know, when I survived what I did, oh, was it on the other platform, Mo? Oh, excuse me, I've got to respond to something. Let's go on to my channel. Hold on, Mo. I'm coming to you. I'm on TikTok live as well because doing for something. Okay. I'm getting a really attack on my head right now, Mo, so bear with me. How are you? Was it on Discord? If you put yes, I'll look at it later because my phone is badly hacked. Okay, so I'm streaming on this phone. This phone is just an Android and it's hacked really bad. That phone's hacked. That phone hacked. Well, this is a cheap one. Backup. Okay. Let me just highlight your message. I'll remember to go and check it out later. All right. I don't know what the time difference is for you, Mary, over there. Yeah, so I get that hat. This hat, how many phones do I need to go through for them to get hacked? And it's nothing to do with yeah, I know it's funny, isn't it? Not funny really, honestly. Johnny. Look, you're either a gaslighter, you're part of the organised gang stalking program, or you generally don't know a shite about this program. So, due respect, this is for those that want to learn, or if they're already aware, wow, then wake up because your brain and your mind is being taken over. Yeah? Get it. Whistle Speaker. Yeah, yeah, Johnny, better life. What are you talking about? Read the bio. Read the bio. Educate yourself.org. Do yourself a favour. Yeah, right. No, it's not just on Earth. It's underground base as well. Yeah, yeah. Excuse me. My labs. I'm just going to type this in because you can't be bothered to bloody research. Okay, educate yourself. Okay, just testing this out really. Yeah. So, so look at the looking and what's past switching. Go and search out Bill Cooper. Okay. Hello, user. How are you? Yeah. Well, there you go. There's your evidence, isn't it? So If you don't comprehend what all this is about, then sad, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. Control, control, control. James Caswell, Coast to Coast. Listen to this. No, here you go. Found it. There's a video.
I met Phil over the telephone approximately 3 years ago, and in person about 2 years ago. And during that period of time, I became very well acquainted with him. He was, at that time, still working for the government, and he didn't say much about what he did. But nonetheless, over a period of time, I became well acquainted with him. I found him to be a person of integrity and honesty. And about 1 year ago, he became totally fed up with the New World Order and the establishment. He thought he was working for the betterment of mankind and the work that he was doing as a geologist for our government, as well as for NATO. And he found out that it could be and was actually anything but that. So his revelations became, in many respects, my revelations. And I urged him last winter and spring to go public and lecture. Finally got him out. He's given over 30 lectures to date. All very successful, very interesting. In fact, so successful, there have been 13 attempts on his life since the beginning of the year, and he survived them all. All I can say is God must be protecting him because he has a message. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Phil Schneider, and understand also everything is being recorded and the video and audio tapes will be available later. Please give a warm welcome to Phil Schneider.
Thanks, Al. I guess I can always start off by saying loose lips sink ships. That's almost a pun anymore. I'm Phil Schneider. I worked 17 years for the United States government as a geologist and aerospace engineer, as well as a structural engineer. I worked for such elusive occupations with Morrison Knudsen, Bechtel, Page and Page, Aerospatiale of France, and a host of other EG&G and a host of other Los Alamos Laboratory and these kind of things. But rather than bore you with all those statistics, I've got cooked up a real mixed bag here of different topics. And it's might be a little bit like brain overload, but I'll start from the beginning. And like I said, I worked 17 years. Co-invented methods of shape charge blasting, as well as laser rock deflagration, which means rock is literally melted or powdered by a special maser laser combination, and the residue of the rock underneath is applied as a coating, as a liquid coating, kind of like instant agate, if you could imagine a hunk of agate, which is a hard silica mineral. rock actually. But up here we have another topic. This is an area where I worked. I worked 11 years of the 17 years at Groom Lake, S4, S2. It's in the Nellis Air Force Base area. In fact, Groom Lake is, I'll show you in the picture right here. It's right here. Groom Lake is quite the place. A lot of rumors and other kinds of things have come out of there. Of course, people have stood on the outside for years and wondered at what's been flying there. There's all kinds of things been flying. Let me give you a brief overview. Start in ancient history land here. Back in 1909, the U.S. cavalry was engaged in catching some banditos that had crossed over the Mexican border into a place called Truth and Consequences, New Mexico. And they went into a cave or a hideout and killed the so-called bandits. But what they found out, they couldn't explain. And they were called horseshoe craft at that time, or horseshoe ships. There were UFOs, and they saw these, what they called demons, gray demons, little gray guys all around the place. That was in 1909. Now, in 1933, our government was actively engaged with the Europeans, mostly French and the English, and special researches dealing with aerial phenomena. And once again, the term flying saucer or flying disc didn't come about until much later, supposedly right around the mid-1940s. Anyway, the whole thing here is that also in 1946, I might want to add, we were engaged in atomic bomb testing and this kind of alike. And of course, the area of Bikini Atoll, some of the pictures are over here on the white board. Are showing with the actual language of both the U.S. Army and U.S. Navy archives. Anyway, these flying ships were seen as early as 1945, 46. Some of them were called Foo Fighters, and you name it. They were fully known about, maybe as early as 1935 or 36 by our U.S. Navy. And there was a shallow underwater base at Bikini Island, and that was probably the one reason why a number of atomic bombs were exploded in that area rather than other areas which they could have been even more remote out in the South Pacific at Operation Crossroads. Well, anyway, this all led up to later on, about 6-8 years later, 1954, during the Eisenhower administration, led to a interesting treaty called the Greada 1954 Treaty. It was the Alien-Human Treaty. And supposedly the aliens had come in and exchanged technology, and they'd want to take an occasional human being and a few head of cows, and accurate books were supposedly to be kept and all this kind of stuff. And of course, eventually all that broke down, and aliens are notorious for being liars, even greater liars than so-called, end quote, we humans are. So alien treaties are often just not even the pieces of paper they're written on. They're just really kind of worthless. Anyway, my work as a geologist in building underground military bases, some of which are over 2 miles underground. And I think when you listen to Al tonight, if you have a chance to listen to him, he will speak of, Al's actually been on some of the high-speed monorail subway cars, if you might want to call them, that link these bases together. Some of them are capable of riding on a cushion of air about 3/4 of an inch off a rail better part of Lot 2. And he's actually been on one of these trains. I've only been in one of the tunnels and helped build some of the tunnels. Incidentally, I helped work on 13 deep underground military bases. Had hands-on experience. Notorious was the one in and around the Dulce, the southeastern and southwestern sides of Dulce, New Mexico, in the Los Alamos laboratory regions, where we built some hermetically sealed rooms that were very deep, going down over a mile. We also built additions onto Groom Lake and S2 and S4 complexes. There are a total of 9 underground. They're called DUMBs. Like, you can learn a lot from this dummy, but DUMB stands for Deep Underground Military Base. And or a deep underground DUM 2, for instance, is a submarine base, and I have built a few of those too, which are off our continental shelves and then certain islands and out in the Atlantic and the Pacific in strategic locations. All this, I can hardly, in an hour's time, I can hardly squeeze all this in. So I'll be kind of rambling here if you just bear with me. The main topic of my discussion here is to link up basically what's going on with these deep underground military bases, what they're being used for, what is the present situation now being employed both by our federal government, which is slowly being phased out by the United Nations government, as well as the New World, end quote, the New World Order, which is an even higher entity, and who these higher entities are taking their orders from, and try and link up basically what's going on. A lot of us have been kept in the dark. We've been given, maybe most recently over here, photographs of an alien at Roswell. I'll just make a very brief statement about that. The photographs cannot stand up to a computer grain analysis test and therefore are retouched or faked. They're not real. The real one, the real photograph of the charred or dead alien that was one of the several that were autopsied is over here, was given to me by a friend by the name of Skip Frombach of Seattle. And his father worked as one of the principal doctors. He was from Germany at the time, and worked on some of the autopsy material, from what I understand, along with other people. Anyway, you just can't believe everything, and that goes for me. You got to get out there and do your homework. Like I always say, you might don't put your spectacles on, you put your skepticals on when you listen to me. So if we can have a show of hands here, how many people have heard about Roswell, New Mexico? Oh, very good, almost all. And how many people have heard about the black helicopters and the other kinds of flying saucers type equipments out at Groom Lake and other places? Very good. Well, this obviously is a nice enlightened audience. Most of you have probably seen what a black helicopter is, or maybe even gotten rare glimpses of an F-117A Black Jet, or Stealth, as they're often called, or a B-2 bomber, B-1 bomber, or some of these other sophisticated aircraft that are now being touted as the new technology. Once again, where did we get this new technology? Well, obviously we've had a little hand in that. Our little alien so-called buddies, have kind of exchanged things, not without a great cost. The cost of which has been a lot of people have disappeared. Some, and I'll blow this statistic by you. There's, according to current FBI and Defense Intelligence Agency and CIA statistics, 100,000 children and 1 million adults disappear every year in these are not kidnappings or murders or rapes or suicides or anything. Totally unaccounted for. And where are these people going to? Nobody knows. Maybe one of us in this room or somebody has encountered such an individual and lost a loved one or a friend or something, and that's unfortunate. My best friend, Ron Lee Rummel, several years ago, got himself murdered because we dared to put out in print, at that time I was still working for the government, and so was he, we dared to put in print the so-called the Strategic Defense Initiative, or Star Wars, as part of the New World Order, and it takes its actions. It was originally written as a kind of a spoof or a joke. We had one of these alien greys dressed up and had New World Order insignia on it. Of course, that wasn't taken very nicely, and my friend got himself murdered. It was called a suicide, but now it's been turned over to special authorities who now acknowledge it was a homicide. Other than that, I'd like to also mention something about my father. My father was a U-boat captain in Hitler's Navy, and he got captured and taken over. I didn't find this out until about 2 weeks before he died. On his deathbed, he kind of told everybody in total shock. I was one of them. In fact, I didn't believe him. I thought he was kind of in delirium or something like that. And of course, other things have come up since. And so, anyway, he was captured by the French, turned over to the Third Army, the U.S. Third Army, and then U.S. Third Army turned him over to the Navy. And he was a master machinist. Now, that's not a journeyman. A master means they can take a block of metal, make a gun or a watch or some other fine instrument. And he was a master machinist. He later became an MD doctor and part of the aerospace medicine group of the United States Navy. Was instrumental in helping build the USS Nautilus and its first nuclear powered predecessor, the Enterprise, the first nuclear powered aircraft carrier, and other ships like it. He pioneered all the ways in building very small and miniature nuclear engines, and he even helped work later on in his life. He helped develop the infamous grid bed nuclear motor, which is now employed in some things that look like flying saucers that people claim are flying saucers. Yes, we, in quote, the United States Air Force and other armed forces, are training other European forces to fly unidentified, or now identified, or in quote, flying saucers. We've actually built several prototypes that are flying under names of black craft. My position as a geologist and engineer got me to see a lot of things in the world. I've been in over 70 countries. Also worked for NATO. I carried a level 3 security clearance with a rhyolite factor. Rhyolite is a hardening factor. Only given out.
Right, no. I've just messaged you on TikTok. Oh, not TikTok. I've closed it down now. I've charged my phone up. I'm not doing this anymore. It's already called. I'm really sad what's going on with them. Thanks so much for your help. I've got to focus on that. Oh, yeah, this is what they're trying to do. There you go. So, blessing, thank you, mate. Appreciate it. But I know what they are doing. So, I can't respond to anything right now. But I've got myself up. And what they do. And turn this Wi-Fi off. Okay. So if you come back in this chat on YouTube, then you know what's going on. Don't bring up the history which you already know about. Thank you. Blessings and prayers to you. Forgiveness is all about forgiveness. But trying to survive, and we're all trying to survive. So signing out for now.